C'est pas grave, laisse tomber, touche pas.
Non, c'est les N-Block.
Non.
On a perdu le Wi-Fi. On a perdu la connexion internet. Vas-y.
Ben non, non.
On va. On y va. On dure 5 minutes, on a des problèmes.
Non, parce que ça va trop long. Enfin, ça va pas fonctionner.
Je sais. C'est mort.
All right. So, why break traditions? Once again, my application broke. We lost a Wi-Fi connection, so we are actually unable to demo the thing in real time, which is too bad. But in any case, let me, okay, it's going to be complicated. Where am I? Okay. All right. So, all right. We are Sign Chat. This is Mike, and I'm Sasha, and we built a tool that enables people to communicate over chat using sign language.
And SMSs.
And SMS. Great. All right. And so this application can be used for pure communication, just sending your signs on the chat rooms, or for education if you want to learn how to use sign language. And actually we have a small video, if you want to watch, that actually works. This is a GIF image we took from the actual demo. And what's happening is that using the lib motion, we're able to detect a sign. Let's say this is hello and this is I love you. And we detect the sign, translate it, and send it over the chat rooms, and then receive an SMS. So people are actually able to communicate from the SMS to the chat room to the sign language translator. We used the Matrix home server, libmotion, and the Voxbone SMS API to make something truly awesome. And we use a bunch of JavaScript SDKs. The home server is running on this machine, not at the moment, since we lost the Wi-Fi connection. And then a lot of Node.js love. Tu veux parler d'infra? All right, so this was the original idea. We decided to link the libmotion that can detect the movements to the Matrix home server, and then connect that to a phone and other chat clients. However, it's not that easy. We have a bunch of listeners that listen for events from Matrix, for SMS, to be able to have a whole ecosystem that's able to link libmotion with the rest of the ecosystem. So I won't be able to show you the demo in real time, but I can show you the UI. Let me start the application. All right. Okay. So this is my hand, and what basically happens is as soon as you recognize hello, it translates it. So let's say this is hello, and I can send it with that gesture over to the Matrix server, which you're not able to see at the moment. And this is it. All right. We are making this application open source, so that you can help us make more moves. We have so far a fake hello. We don't know anything about sign language, so we have hello, we have goodbye, and I love you. And you can help us at this address to make a super awesome sign language library. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Alan for making this awesome event. Thank you to Matrix for all the support. We've annoyed the hell out of them during these 2 days. And thank you to all the fellow hackers that helped us and that encouraged us and for making great stuff. Thank you.
C'est pas Internet? T'as Internet? Just lost all the Internet here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sasha. And the great thing is the last time I invited Sasha on stage, we connected the plug for the adapter and it killed his machine completely. It just died. It was good we didn't kill your machine, although we did lose Wi-Fi. But I'd like to now invite Anton and Jonathan, if you can come on down, and they will be presenting on their hack entitled Heart Rate Monitor. And again, introduce the team, name the hack, make clear the sponsors, and then pitch with a demo if possible. So I'll just hand over to you guys.
Disconnected?
Okay. This
Sorry. Do you have sound? It's possible to connect sound with you? Yeah. Okay, that's perfect.
okay. This is connected. I'm connected, but I can see nothing.
Okay.
Okay. So, good afternoon. My name is Jonathan. My teammate is Anton Rodriguez. We are telco software developers from Optare Solutions, and we are glad to present our eHealth hack. So, why an eHealth hack? Well, nowadays it's usual to find doctors sending emails or searching on the internet for some information. Even they find unexpected ways for using software, as we can see in the third picture, using even Photoshop. But how we did manage to do that? Well, we used a heart rate sensor, a bunch of Intel hardware to connect that to a computer, and the Oracle WebRTC session controller to provide a WebRTC channel to share data between the patient and the doctor. Let's try the demo. Please cross your fingers. Okay, so I'm logged in as a doctor and I'm ready to call my patient. I had to accept share of microphone. Okay. It's a bit slow. Now I have to accept the share of video camera. Hello, Anton. How are you today?
Just a minute, it's because of the
Well,
connection.
well, it's working a bit slow today.
Here we go.
Okay, hello, Anton. How are you? So,
Hello, Dr. Jonathan, how are you?
fine, thanks. Well, let me see your heart rate, please. Accept the here.
He's the guy who's the important things.
Okay, now I can see the heartbeats of my patient, and we can even move the graph to take attention over a specific region. My patient is looking the same region of the graph than me. I can go back, and even I can look for some patient information. In this case, our patient is going to die in the next 6 months.
Oh, please.
Well, that's not the matter, but accidentally I will refresh my browser window, and if it is a little speeder, we can see that the session is automatically recovered, the sensor data and the voice and video call. But now it's working a little slow. Well, it didn't work, doesn't matter. Okay, key things about this are the data channel used to share sensor information, because the data channel is a secure peer-to-peer way to exchange that information without worrying about security. The other key thing is the rehydratation, which permits the doctor or the patient to refresh their browser, change from another browser or even to another device without worrying about what happens with that communication. They are still communicating and they can continue communicating. So this provides a very good customer experience. Finally, we want to thank especially Oracle Communications for providing us with WebRTC session controller and Intel, and special thanks to the TADHack organization for Alan and Karen for giving us the opportunity to be at that amazing event. Thank you very much.
A round of applause. Thank you. That was great, guys. So I'd now like to invite Sam, if you can come on down and grab them. And Sam will be presenting on Babel RTC. Oh, you've got your adapter there, cool.
Bear with me a second. Zoom might be a little bit broken. Okay, so this is Babel RTC. The idea being it's a regular video person-to-person chat. We've all been sent those with transcription and translation. So I call somebody, I speak in English, and they'll see subtitles for their chosen language under the screen down here. So we've got a few languages. I've just got German, Portuguese, French and Chinese, mainly just so I can show that we can draw Chinese characters, because that was a load of work. This is a canvas element. So if I, fingers crossed, this is a bit hacky, initiate the call. I should also mention, of course, the sponsors we're using. So this is Intel. This is the server. It's all running off here, this little Intel Edison. So I was going to hang it from balloons and really bring my own cloud with me, but I couldn't find any balloons this morning. So yeah, it's an Intel. This is an Intel Edison Atom CPU, gig of RAM, 4 gig of storage, running Debian, and that's running the Node.js server, which is brokering and doing the transcription. I'll show you at the end. Okay, so we have a video call set up here. Well, I have one-way video. Let's just reload that. Oops. It's not the best UX for this demo. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so I've got two-way video. So now I'll let's set this one to Portuguese, and I'll try saying something. So I need to start, and then, hello, my name is Sam. This is a demo. Fingers crossed. ... We'll get some transcription. So, and what's for lunch today? Fingers crossed. into Chinese. If anybody speaks Chinese, I'm wildly informed that is Chinese, and I haven't just insulted your mother or something. So basically, you can switch that. So yeah, that's kind of the basics of it. So the way I'm kind of working, this is my insane architecture slide. So I'm using Pusher, WebRTC, I've rolled my own stack, so I'm using Pusher as a WebSocket provider just to set up the signaling. The interesting stuff is kind of going on down here. So we're setting up a RTC voice and video channel between the two peers, between the Nexus 7 and the MacBook. Then, as well as the video, we're copying the audio from the local browser and sending that as over a WebSocket to the Edison. So it's buffering little 1-second audio files. Then when I decide I want a translation, it sends another event, grabs all those audio files, turns them into a chunk of audio, sends that to Google, who have a text, speech-to-text API, so that transcribes it, sends it back down the WebSocket, so I have in my local language, effectively subtitles, which are then sent to all the peers over the data channel. So this end is getting, hello, my name is Sam in English. This end is then sending it up to the translation API to request whatever language it wants. So if we had a three-way call going here, I could be talking English, and somebody could be getting German subtitles, and somebody else getting Chinese subtitles, and the whole thing. So hopefully that kind of architecture, rather than translating it and sending the language. And that's about it.
That's excellent, Sam. Sam really is in a roll today. We have another hack coming up a little bit later, but I'd like to invite Kevin, if you can join us. And Kevin will be presenting on Backpack Telecom. So over to you.
Okay, so those who don't know me, I've literally about a week ago just finished my job. I've actually got several months and years of traveling to do ahead. But one of the problems I have is I have this wonderful UK phone number which has lots of things attached to it. It's what my parents call me on, it's what I get security phone calls on, and turns out it's really expensive to use my phone abroad, like really expensive. To the point that earlier when we were chatting about this, like, how much does it cost to use a meg of data abroad? Microphone. Thank you. So it turns out it costs about, on my carrier in the UK, it costs me around £6 a meg. So while I'm traveling, what can that get me? So it's about €8. Turns out in Portugal, they can get me about 2.5 Big Macs. In Cambodia, you can get me 2 nights in this hotel. Or 2.5 gig of data in Thailand, if I'm using a local prepaid SIM, 2.5 gig in Cambodia, a gig in Thailand, and about 100 meg in Canada, so that's not going to be so good. So what I ended up building for that was an easy way to use my UK number on local SIMs. So what I've done is, this is my UK phone. It's set so that anytime any calls come through, that it terminates to a SIP number. So the nice thing is now, if you call my UK number, it comes through to my Google Voice or whatever else. The problem I've got with is most of the time I've probably got a Nokia, so I have no way of updating over the web what my number needs to forward to. So, somewhere, I'll show you on here, what I can actually do. So I'm going to grab my TruePhone SIM, and I just need to get the number. Sorry. Copy. So. If someone beats me to dialing this, they'll probably get all my calls. So in theory, nope, that didn't work. Never mind. Sorry. Okay, there we go. That's it.
Okay, Rob, if you could come on down, and Rob will be presenting on a hack entitled No More RCS. So let's see what he has to say on that. It's just down there. Do you need audio, or are you okay?
No, I should be okay actually.
It doesn't screw in before.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm going to start talking while we get the video sorted out. Hopefully, something will happen behind me that. Looking better.
Take that. There you go. Okay, now try.
Awesome. Right. Okay, so this is our hack for this TADHack, and I'm afraid for this particular hack, there's nothing dangerous about it. So, or nothing dangerous about it unless you've got a business model revolving around sort of maybe charging for messaging or something. So what problem are we trying to solve? We're trying to solve a deadly serious problem that we have applications right now that can do really nice, rich messaging if you're talking to yourself. So they're great for doing messaging with ourselves, but when we actually want to go and do free contextual communication with external contacts, we're stuck with either dialing them up, which means I'm going to call you and really annoy you so that I can have a really poor audio conversation, or do 140 characters of SMS, well, really in 2015, or I can cause you to go off and want to talk to, do something, download something, click on something, load a plugin, all of it not terribly satisfactory. Federation would be good, wouldn't it? So that we can do the same sort of thing for messaging that we can do with email and audio phone calls. Well, there's actually a thing for that, matrix.org. So we did a hack with matrix.org, trying to link up with their system. How? Well, there are a couple of ways of doing it. One is SIP, but that didn't seem like a very good idea. So the other way was through their app server interface, and I apologize for the rather sort of hooky video. I'm not sure what's going to happen next. So let's have a play with talking to Matrix. Okay, so this is Kivio, our messaging tool, and I can use it quite nicely to talk to other instances of people that I want to talk to. I can do video, I can do audio, I can do messaging. And what I've done as a hack over the weekend is plugged it into Matrix. So if we go to this instance over here, find my mouse pointer, yeah, here we go. So I'll just start a Matrix session with a random individual. That happens to be me. So let's start that. I'll just give it a name, and I am at Rob2, : Okay, and let's invite me. And if I flip over here to this Matrix session, I should have got an invite to say I was in there. Never mind. Let's try doing this other way. Let's send an invite to me from Matrix. Okay, so I'm in a chat room here now. Let's do a bit of chatting to myself. And let's pop over to our chat room over here. And you can see I've got a message up here. So let's try and nail a call up now. So let's do an audio call back over to myself. And flip back over to the matrix room. And we'll enter that somehow or other. And not get any audio. So that's fine, and I can talk to two instances of stuff on my laptop, but let's have a chat to one of the Matrix guys in London. That would be a useful thing to do, wouldn't it? So let's pop over here, start up a new session with and we will send a message to him. And just while I'm waiting for him to wake up, let's try some audio to wake him up. Okay, I don't want to use up too much of my my 5 minutes, so let's flip back to the. Here we go. Oops. Okay. So what have we done, and how did it all fit together? Okay, so we used the app server interface on Matrix, and what we did was wrote a Kivio app service. So that sits there and it talks to the IP Cortex API down here in this this IP Cortex Kivio server, and it talks to the Matrix home server network. So talking across the Matrix home server network, and then there's poor old Matthew here in London. My video's cropped over there, but the important thing, the media streams are flowing direct. So what we're effectively doing is using Matrix as a signaling layer for WebRTC just to get our signal across, and our media is flowing directly through through peer-to-peer connections. How do we do it? Well, I guess the sponsors technology we use was obviously Matrix, the Google WebRTC code. On my mobile, there are various bits of Ericsson mobile technology for talking to Matrix WebRTC clients, and the code's going to be up on GitHub, and I'll tweet it later. Okay, thanks, folks.
Excellent, thank you so much, Rob. So I'd now like to invite Pedro, and if your team could come down to present on the hack entitled Midden. So over to you guys.
Estamos aqui, não?
Podes sair.
Não precisas de alimentação. Não, mete aqui o computador, é melhor. Sorry. Empresta aí. Tá bom? Tá? Hello, good afternoon. We are a team from PT Innovation, and we bring you today this little hack, Midden. We'd like to thank the sponsors Forge, Matrix, and Happy Days for all their support, helping us to build this solution. Well, what is Midin? Midin resolves around a collaboration platform for music learning, music practicing, and live music streaming. If you think of the traditional way of enjoying music, on the teaching, practicing, or even going to a concert, you would see it results around this more or less four scenarios. We need technology for the people, and technology changes the way we enjoy music too. So, if you see these two pictures, you'll see two little kids learning music with the help of technology. Technology to help people. As you know, on a more abstract level, technology permits telecom technology permits the remote collaboration, audio and video streaming anywhere, and the shared data amongst participants. For this special use cases related to music, learning, practicing, and live listening, we tried to mash up a solution that we called MIDI-in, and you'll see why in a minute, that can gather all these participants and connect them even though they can be physical distance from each other. For this particular case, we arranged this more or less technical solution that Michael, my colleague, will better explain.
Okay, thank you. So we start with the application on the web browser. It's hacking from GT Meet application. The GT Meet application has some WebRTC way of communication, video, and streaming. So, and we use also the Web MIDI API. It's a standard that is in draft, but the Chrome is implementing and using this. We send the message to the matrix. For example, we have also solution with Vertex with WebSockets. And then we will use the GT video bridge solution to send the video and audio. Forge we are building something to record the MIDI system so we can record the collaboration between musicians. And API for sending SMS and messaging. So, for example, in a scenario for learning, we can say that your session is about to start, your lesson is about to start. Please log into the room. And we have also in-house solution for identity provider, something from PT Innovation. So what's the advantage of using MIDI data? Because we can use the streaming directly, but the MIDI data we can, it's a lighter solution. We can, for example, plug in several synthesizers, different synthesizer, mixing the environments. It's a lighter solution for instead of just streaming the video and the audio. So we have some videos to demonstrate. Okay. I don't know if you can listen to this.
We had this fallback plan of video in case we couldn't show you directly. But what you see here is WebRTC with video and audio call to another participant. But the audio from the piano, I don't think you can hear it.
Can you have
but you can see the keyboard is being pressed. It is not passed through the WebRTC. It's passed through data, WebSockets data. So the system gets much more lighter. Miguel, do you want to try to call Fabio?
try if I can connect directly to one of the partners that is setting over there. Let's see. Did you receive any message?
Yes.
Received a message. Your session is about to start. Is Fabio there? Let me send you the link. Fabio is joining us. Hello, Fabio.
You can see it's there, so it's true.
Now we can play together. Try to press some keys. The red ones is the keys he is pressing, and the green ones.
Oh, I don't think no.
It's not.
Wait a minute. Sorry.
Is the cable okay? There you go.
Okay, there we go.
So it was a lie.
The red keys is him. Let's. Disable this. I'm not a great musician. But okay, you can see that it works in conjunction with other partners. We can stop. I think it's enough. We are trying to integrate also some record. Let me try to show you. So if you start to record this and stop and then play. Here it can record the session. Something you want to say more?
Okay, so this was the project we wanted to show you. I would like to stress out that technology for the people. So I think this can help people learning music or sharing knowledge about music. Our thanks for the organization, all the sponsors involved that helped us in this short period of time build a solution. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you so much. So I'd now like to ask Alfonso and team if you could come on down for TAD call.
Thank you.
I have a mic. Okay, hello Lisbon. I'm here to tell you a story. It's the story of Mr. Joaquin that is going to show up here on the screen. He's a little bit shy. Podes ir buscar o meu portátil, faz favor.
Não está a tentar.
Arrangement, hello arrangement.
This is Murphy. It happens all the time. Okay, guys, we are going to have Mr. Joaquim. Here he is. As you can see, he's a typical Portuguese citizen. You can see by the clothes and the rings. So Mr. Joaquim is a taxi driver. So during the day, he takes tourists from one place in Lisbon to another place in Lisbon and overcharges them, of course. It's typical Portuguese. And after work hours, he decided to have a side job. So he sells ceramic dogs. It's a really, really hot product in Portugal right now. They are really, really pretty, to say the garden. And he was so successful that he decided to expand his business and put ads on the newspaper. But he did a mistake, a huge mistake. He put his personal number on a newspaper. So he started to receive calls every hour of the day. People were always calling him, telling, I want a ceramic dog. Please, can you give me a ceramic dog? He was so successful that even people from abroad call him asking for ceramic dogs, which is a problem because Mr. Joaquim doesn't speak in English. So we decided to help Mr. Joaquim. We decided to create a service, TADHack. With TADHack, you can create virtual numbers that fit your lifestyle, Mr. Joaquim lifestyle. So he can have his phone number for his normal job while he's taxing people. He can create his phone number for his other jobs, like the ceramic dog business. What we are going to see now, it's a live demo of Mr. Joaquim using the TADHack service, where he's going to create a virtual number that is the number that he'll share for every one of his customers, and then he's going to create restrictions that only people can only call him if he's not driving the taxi. So let's see.
So this is our minimalistic presentation and interface. Here, Mr. Joaquim can do his login, username, password, same things. Then he says, oh, okay, I want to have this number for my side project to get to this my real number, and I don't want them to call me from 9 to 5 on the weekdays, because on those days I'm usually on taxi duty. And so I created a restriction, and there it is.
Can I ask someone from the audience, please, can you call Mr. Joaquim public number? So the one that he tells his customers to call, and let's say today is Sunday, so no problem, he's not driving the taxi. And what will happen is that this is going through APDay's servers, and APDay's, our partner that helps us here, is asking us, should I transfer this call to his real number or not? And our backend is calculating, is seeing his restriction, and today is Sunday, so no problem.
No.
And we just received the call. So the client called his virtual number, and we received in his personal number. Can I just ask you? So we kind of solved...
Okay.
Okay, we kind of solved all Mr. Joaquim's problems, but there is still one missing. We have Señorita Carminda, that it is his lover. So, and okay, Señorita Carlinda is not his real problem. The problem is his wife, because his wife is really, really, really jealous. So if Carminda calls during the weekend, his wife might find out that he has a lover. So what we decided to create to Mr. Joaquim is a private number that he can give to all of his mistresses, and we are going to set up a personal message that the mistresses can all receive, and we are going to tell, if it is during the weekend, you can't, this virtual number will not work because I'm at home with my wife. So I'm going to pretend I'm Carminda, so it's like an occupation that I have during the weekends, is being Mr. Joaquim's lover. And I'm going to call Mr. Joaquim. Let me put in loudspeak. So I'm calling Mr. Joaquim.
Tell me, did you not call me while I am at home? I want to discover our secret love. Kisses my sweet.
So it's a message telling, please don't call me at home, or my wife can find out.
You can call it actually, because it will not like do a big noise. You'll just hear the message if you want. This is the number. The bottom one.
Okay, so this was TED Call. We are offering a service to regain the control of your mobile phone, because right now, if you give your true mobile phone number, it's out to the world and you lost all your control over it. So try to regain control over your phone. We are using APDay's APIs for this, so thank you for your support. Also thank TADHack for all the support for this hackathon, and Technical for the space where we work during this weekend. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
That was excellent. Thank you. So Steve, Rian, would you come on down? And their hack is entitled Note to Selves.
We got Let's see if this Mac actually wants to work. Right. Is that, yeah, I might on the stage a bit. Are we going to be on stage? Oh, there we go. No, we're not. Of course, I've not tested any of this with a monitor plugged in, so hopefully it'll work. So this is Note to Self, this is us, and I'm going to cover this in 3 short parts. The first is the timetable of events that led this thing to happen. Then I'll show you the architecture and the things that we used. You might be able to tell from the box, the APDay's API is the bit that we've been playing with this weekend. And then a couple of ideas on what this thing actually does. So this project, as you can tell from the rather snazzy user interface, began yesterday at 10:30. We had no idea what to do, and we had no idea who we'd be working with. And we bumped into each other and says, shall we build something? Yes, let's. What? Oh, I don't know. Haven't thought it through that far. So at 11 o'clock, we installed Meteor, because we thought that would be a really good idea. We can use this, it's Node, it's cool, it's funky. Problem is, I don't do Meteor. So at 11 o'clock, I started learning how to use Meteor.js. At 12 o'clock, we thought, well, we still don't know what we're doing yet. It's meant to be a TADHack kind of thing, so there should probably be some telecoms. So we thought, OK, then, let's use the APDay's API, and we'll do something that does some voice things. Well, it turns out I'm still trying to learn Meteor at this point, and I don't actually know the APDay's API either. So I'm trying to learn 2 of these at the same time. And the Meteor general purpose example is a to-do list. So I thought, OK, then, how about if we combine the to-do list, which is normally text, with the voice of APDay's to have a voice-based to-do list? This gradually changed, because at 1 o'clock, we had the idea of, well, why don't we put some geolocation into this? Only problem is I didn't know how to do geolocation, so at 1 o'clock I was learning geolocation code. And this was fine, because we thought, well, if you record a little voice message to yourself, you can have the geolocation remind you where it was. So if you're saying, pick up some of these Kit Kats because they're on special offer, the geolocation API will tell you you saw the Kit Kats were on special offer in Tesco's rather than Asda. And we thought this was a great idea. And then around 2 o'clock, we suddenly realized we didn't have any design whatsoever. So we started the design. The UI would actually look like that, but we didn't quite finish it. So it looks like that instead. Then at 3 o'clock, we thought, well, we've got this geolocation API. That's really great, but it's not very TADHacky. So we thought, well, let's use the getUserMedia object to be able to store pictures as well as voice clips in the to-do list. And then we sort of said, yeah, we're really running out of ideas here, so we just finished building it. So what it is, the idea is it's a one-click system, and this is where I start getting really nervous because I have to do a live demo. So it's simple enough. You say, I'm going to create a note to self, and you click the Note to Self button. It does the whole usual, do you want to allow your microphone? Yes, and I say, hello to everyone in TADHack land, and stop said recording. Now, that's all using the APDay's JavaScript API. That goes off to their server. They record some stuff. We have about 15 seconds worth of recording on here. My server then goes off to their server to grab that recording, because in order to retrieve that recording, you need a secret key.
And when everything's being done in JavaScript, that secret key would be over the wire, and you really don't want anyone else getting hold of it. So our server toddles off, it grabs the image, it grabs the video, the recording, it transcodes it into OGG, which makes it friendly enough for HTML5 to play it back. And then when you press the play button here, it should play it back. Is that audible? Did that come out on the microphone? Yes, you can hear that from back. Okay, so as you can see, it just does what it says. You know, you say, I want to make a new note to self. You click note to self, and it adds that line. Now, you can tell from the line it has my note, which is a bog standard piece of ordinary placeholder text. Soon you'll be able to click on it and change it to say that was a note to pick up shopping or whatever. It has the geolocation in there, which is where we are right now. And it has the ability to play it back and image and photo. So if we click on image, it says, do you want to use your camera? If you stand in front of the camera, you've got to do some of the work. I then click the photo image to take an image of that. Click. That stores it. It uploads it to Imager, just because I happen to not know how Imager works. So I thought, well, I've only learned 4 technologies this weekend. Might as well learn another one. It uploads it to Imager, gets the URL back, replaces it in the database through Meteor, and then displays it on screen there. So far, there's no usernames or passwords on this, so anyone here could probably replace that image if they spot the URL. Fine. Unfortunately, we ran out of time to do some of the things that we'd like to have done, although we've got the design. One of the things we didn't have time for, as we said, is the UI. Something else we ran out of time for was the presentation. We didn't have time to do a PowerPoint, so it's written on the back of the lunchbox. Luckily, the cleaners haven't taken the lunchbox away yet, so I still have a presentation I can do. If anyone got bored and followed my tweets yesterday, they took the lunchbox away with the design on. We designed the whole UI on the back of the lunchbox. It was the biggest piece of paper in the building, and they took it away. So we had to redesign the UI again. So other things you can do. One of them, thanks, Philip. Oh, I should probably also mention, although the team is us, Philip was the Happy Days guru who's been helping us not only with their API, but also with Meteor. So some of the other things you can do. As we said, we want to have users and groups. So if there's several of you together, you know, either watching a lecture or something, you can be in the same group and you can all make notes in the same system. I think that would be quite cool. You could also have it so that if you return to a location, it reminds you then. Geolocation is already built in. One of the benefits of actually saying, I made this note at this longitude, this latitude, is when you return to it and go, oh, by the way, last time you were here, you said pick up Kit Kats. At which point it can remind you quite literally in your own voice. Also, if you say, I want to pick up Kit Kats at the cheapest possible price, and you suddenly see them in Asda, if you click the location, such as this one here, it goes off, gets the new geolocation tag, and sticks it in there instead. Unfortunately, none of this is going to work, since this building is not quite big enough to have a different location, but fair enough. Also, we had planned on adding the iSpeech transcription service, so we could change the static my text up there into the actual beginning of what you said. But as I said, we ran out of times, and I think 5 technologies for a weekend is probably enough for anyone. So that's all the stuff. I've mentioned the sponsors that let us use the API. I've mentioned that we're us, and I'm sure you're still able to. Has anyone else added anything on today? Yes, that's probably it. I'd like it to be more impressive. I think that's the end. Thank you. Did I forget anything?
Something. That was more than enough in the time available, Steve. That was excellent. Thank you so much. So I'd now like to invite Sam and Kev, if you could come on down with the last live demo that we're going to be giving here in Lisbon. We have one more that's being recorded, so we'll put that out a little bit later. And what we're going to do after Sam's presentation is we're going to take a break in the live feed, because we need to do some uploading, downloading, and shuffling files around so that we can continue with the streaming of the recorded pictures. And then we'll be going through Dublin, London, Spain, and there's some amazing hacks coming up. So I'll be honest with you, the 6 p.m. estimate for where we get this all done and we'd be announcing the prizes, I think was a little optimistic. It's going to be most probably closer to 7 p.m. GMT by the time we get all the pictures done. But again, amazing hacks to come. So Sam, over to you.
Thank you. So this is a really, really short, really quick hack that we built in a couple hours this morning using a couple of bits of TruePhone APIs. So the kind of use case is leading on from Kevin's sort of where I'm traveling around the world and things and the prices of data. It wants to be able to kind of let people know which country he's in because he doesn't know where he's going to be next week. So simplest way is posting a tweet. But if you don't have any access, you don't want to make an expensive phone call, firing up data roaming on your iPhone and whatnot gets really expensive just to post a message that says, I'm in Portugal. So what we're using is, we've got a TruePhone number, so we call a UK TruePhone number, doesn't really matter, pointing the SIP pointing into a little server we've written in Ruby. That will basically just receive the SIP invite, so it does nothing. It won't even answer the call. It actually, I think it'll return busy tone, or it depends on the roaming network. The key thing is the call doesn't answer, so I don't get charged for the call. But that is enough of a trigger to then call another TruePhone API, which allows us to send what's called an SRISM, query where my phone is, basically, where in the world, using the mobile network. So it actually goes off and queries my HLR and says, where's Sam's SIM, or the number this number is calling from, where are they? Gets back the country and then posts it to Twitter. So let's try another risky live demo. So I call this UK number. You might be able to hear. Busy tone. So that's not answered. I've not been charged for anything. It's just sent back a reject. But hopefully now, if I refresh my Twitter feed, and so it's picked up. I've just arrived in Portugal. If I was calling, I can't really demo this, but if I go to Spain and call it again, it would go, oh, Sam's in Spain. So that's a TruePhone number on the way in, a TruePhone API, but this is a 3 UK, so it will work with any network anywhere in the world. Just the kind of TruePhone bits to power the way in and going and asking where your phone is. And that's it.
Excellent, thank you, Sam. So I'm just checking what the name of Scott's presentation, because we are going to squeeze Scott in. Just come on down, do your pitch. I'll let you introduce it. So we have one more. We're just going to squeeze this one under the wire, and then we're going to take the quick break to deal with the uploads and downloads in the live stream. So Scott, over to you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's done on purpose. It doesn't screw in.
Whoa. All right, cool. Okay. So I did a horrible job on the presentation, but I'll get rolling. So I have a hack called TADHack. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, Slack has been a game changer. But one of the things you can't do out of Slack is make phone calls. So I wrote a little application using telestacks and a company called Clarify.io, which is a company out of Austin, where I can make a phone call out of Slack, record the audio, and then search that audio. And what Clarify does is that instead of transcribing the audio, it actually just indexes it for you and allows you to do live search across the audio without having to do transcription. So I created a little RESTCOM app that just answers the call and then connects me to the other end of the call. So let me move over to Slack here real quick. And so I created a little, this is quite difficult to do when you don't have it in front of you. So I'm going to make a call to this Portugal number. And what we'll hope. So now I've got a live call up. Thanks for watching my demo. And I'll end the call. And you'll see over here in Slack, I get a message from my bot that says it's indexing the call. And in a couple of minutes here, or a few seconds, I'll get a notification back from Clarify that says
that the call has been indexed, and I should be able to search it sometime soon. Awkward demo silence. Okay, so now I just TAD Slack search. Thanks. And you'll see I get a result back. I think I said thank you, actually. Let's try. All right, so you see I get the audio URL back, and I also, it tells me at what point in the audio I said those words. And then what I didn't get to is that URL, I would click through that URL and it would drop you right into a media player right at that point in the audio. And you would just be able to play exactly the search term you were looking for and look for the context of that. So that's as far as I got. That's my hack. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Scott. Ooh, a sigh of relief. We kept that under an hour, so that was perfect for all the Lisbon hacks. So what we're going to do now is take a quick break while poor old Inti does a lot of uploading, downloading. So we should be back in about 15, 20 minutes, continuing with the recorded pictures. So see you in about 15, 20 minutes. Bye-bye.